YouTube, what's up? Back again for another daily fishing video here on Andrew Upshaw Fishing. Guys, today we're going to talk about the harsh reality of tournament fishing, why more non-endemic sponsors are not showing up, and why we have to do a lot to change to make this industry even better. But real fast though, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure y'all do that. It's in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Then also click that notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a video. So guys, let's talk about this harsh reality of tournament fishing. It is not where we want it to be, obviously. We're paying more money. We're getting less money in return. Sponsors are hard to get. Sponsor dollars are hard to get. And especially non-endemic sponsors. Now, with that being said, are they impossible to get? No. But it takes a lot of work. It takes creative marketing. And it takes having more hours in the day than we currently have. So one of the biggest questions I get is, how do I get sponsorships? What do I need to do to get sponsors? And how do I make myself look different than everyone else? And the big answer to that question is you have to outwork people all the time. And guess what that's going to yield you? Not that much success. And you heard that right. Even though you outwork everybody doesn't mean you're going to be successful. I don't care what anybody says. I could go work every single day, 16 hours a day, and it still wouldn't be good enough. And you have to accept that on all of those days leading up till the day that it actually matters, that you're working that 10, 12, 16-hour day, and you're not seeing any result. But if you stay on that track, you eventually hit your goal. And you will eventually outwork everybody enough to where it does make a difference. So I get a lot of questions as to, hey, how do you keep sponsors? How do you get sponsors? You got to show them that you are different than everybody else. And in this day and age, it is being good at social media. It is having a good following on YouTube. And in this situation, I actually bought a TV show to just expand my market and my brand even more than I have before. So you want to talk about what I would love to do? I would love to just go fishing, fish tournaments, get all the sponsor support in the world, not have to do anything other than go fish and catch bass. But that's not the reality of tournament bass fishing. That's not the reality of what sponsors get in return. Why in the world would they sponsor anyone that doesn't want to go out there and work and try to be the best and try to bring them the best content, the best return on investment that they can? The harsh reality of tournament fishing is the fact that this is how our industry is rolling. I can look back 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago in this industry, and as you look back, there's probably anglers that were 3 times, 4 times better than I was. There is not a doubt in my mind, and you don't know who they are. You have no idea who they are. Now, you can look back over that span of time, and you can name out certain individual anglers that have been super successful, that created a brand, created a platform, that continue to do that to this day. Bill Dance, Hank Parker, Larry Nixon, Tommy Martin. You know, there's a lot of big names. Roland Martin, goodness gracious. I mean, there's guys that have been doing it for a really long time that created a brand, that created a name for themselves, and now are very, very successful. But you don't see all those other guys. And over the course of time, people will forget who these anglers are if they didn't work hard and outwork everybody. Don't get me wrong. It's real easy to go out there and fish and have fun. And I actually applaud anybody that's able to go do that. But even KVD, one of the very best of all time, and if not arguably the best of all time, was still a marketer at the end of the day. He still worked his butt off for his sponsors. He did above and beyond what was expected of him at all given times. The guy was busier and is as busy as any angler that I've ever seen in my entire life. You want to talk about work ethic? That guy puts everybody to shame. I mean, I honestly think he actually gets 36 hours in a day to work instead of 24. The dude is gone 24/7. I can only imagine how stressful that life would be, because I'm busy 24/7, it feels like, and I still don't hold a candle to what KVD has done. The reality is, when it looks at tournament fishing, when it looks at how hard we have to work for our sponsors, there is not a line. Now, when it talks about non-endemic sponsors, why are more non-endemic sponsors not associated with bass fishermen or bass fishing or tournament fishing more specifically? It's our own fault, quite honestly. There's a lot of things that we can look at ourselves in, but it's also the industry's fault. Professional bass fishing is about this big compared to the actual fishing industry. The fishing industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Tournament fishing is that big. That's how many people actually care about what's going on in the tournament industry. So when sponsors look at tournament organizations like Bassmaster, like MLF, yeah, you're going to have a handful. And I mean, like, when I say a handful, like a very small percentage of sponsorships that are non-endemics, because they have understood the concept. They understand that they're going to get some eyeballs, maybe not as many as they would get in golf or something like that, football, but they're going to get some eyeballs, and they understand how to harness that to their success. Toyota, as an example, has been one of the most consistent sponsors, non-endemic sponsors in bass fishing, but what they did is create a contingency program that supported buying trucks, buying Toyota Tundras, and a lot of guys did it, and a lot of guys still do it to this day. And Toyota, in my opinion, has flourished from that decision. But the reality is there's not every brand is going to benefit as good as Toyota has. You know, actually, Castledine had it live the other day with Paul from Black Rifle Coffee Company, and he talked about the reality of tournament fishing. And honestly, I have to agree with a lot of things that he said. You know, he's a marketing manager there, and he talked about how, you know, these big companies, when they look at the fishing industry, it's just not worth the investment to go and put that amount of time and effort into a sponsorship that is only going to yield X amount of return. And that is the reality of what we are dealing with. Now, the part of that that is our fault, that the angler's fault, the professional angler's fault, I got to witness it back in, I think it was like 2012. It was my rookie year on the FLW Tour. And at this point, there were still a ton of team deals. And what I mean by team deals, when FLW was sponsored by Walmart, Kellogg's, National Guard, among a bunch of other big sponsorships that were non-endemics, one thing that those anglers had to do was they had to go work the booths after the event, you know, after the second day. If they did not make the cut, they were supposed to go work the expo for like 1 or 2 days. And that was something they were contracted to do. Now, with that being said, said anglers were given a lot of money. They were given trucks. They were given boats. They were given all kinds of different concessions from FLW, from these sponsorships, to work all this stuff. But you want to know the attitude that I got from about 70 to 80% of the anglers. It was always an inconvenience. They never wanted to work. They are always complaining about having, I got to go do this, and I've got to go do that. I can't believe I got to do this. And it was always an inconvenience for them to get off their butts and do something about it. Right now, we are dealing with the same type of angler. There's a lot of anglers out there that mean the best, and maybe they are some of the best fishermen out there. They catch them as good or better than anybody else, but at the end of the day, they don't want to work for what they're doing. And now, don't get me wrong, I could definitely be better. I could work harder, and there's days that I don't want to get up and work as hard as I do. But guess what? If I want to be successful in this industry, I have to put my boots on and get to work and do it every single day. And every single day that I'm alive, it seems like these days, I'm working on fishing, whether it be YouTube, social media, my TV show, or some type of fishing in general. You know, people ask me, hey man, why do you not hunt? Like, why are you not in the woods right now? Why are you not hunting for deer? And don't get me wrong, I did it as a kid all the time. I mean, every single year we would get 1 or 2 deer. And at the end of the day, I don't do it anymore. And I don't do it for a couple different reasons. A, I'm already gone about 7 months out of the year, 6 or 7 months out of the year. And so that additional, 5 months, 4 months, I want to spend with my kid and my wife and actually spend time with my family because I'm gone so much. The other part of that is I have to spend all that additional time catching up, making sure everything's lined out for the next season, making sure everything's ready to go so that y'all have all the best content. You want to talk about the harsh reality of tournament fishing? The reality is that this industry is built with a bunch of lazy people. And if this offends you, I'm sorry, but that's just where we're at. The deal is, if you're not willing to go out there and outwork the person next to you, you're never going to be successful in the sport of fishing. So all you college anglers, all you high school anglers, all you anglers coming up, this is not the industry for you if you just want to go out there and fish every day. At least not the professional side of things. If you want to be the best, you got to outwork the best. Like I said, I still can't outwork the best. The best is Kevin Van Dam as far as I'm concerned. Scott Martin's another one of the best. Dude, I can't outwork him. The guy is always gone, always filming, always posting content. I can't outwork that guy. But I can tell you this, I'm going to still work as hard as I physically can during the day to bring y'all the best stuff. So all you guys that want to know, how do you get sponsorships? You got to find your own brand. You got to establish a brand. You got to figure out an avenue to go down, and you got to just outwork everybody you can in that particular avenue. Like I said, you're not going to outwork everybody. But if you try to outwork everybody, over time, it will yield the right results. So try not to spread this out too long, but that is the harsh reality of why these non-endemics aren't here and the harsh reality of tournament fishing. Comment below what you think. Hopefully y'all stayed this long to see the entire spiel of this particular video here. I've had a lot of people lately ask me what it takes to get sponsorships. That's your answer, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.